When the towering wave rushed toward Peter, he had no time to react. The next second, he was violently swept into the wave. Soon, the entire resort was submerged by the massive seawater. Peter's mother was still on the viewing platform, and the next second, she could not escape it either. After the waves subsided, Peter struggled desperately to the surface. He smartly found a floating object and shouted his mother's name in despair. Fortunately, his mother saw him too. She desperately swam toward him. He grabbed onto a piece of support. His mother told Peter to stay where he was, but she herself was about to be washed away, so he immediately swam over. He held her tightly. They were lucky enough to grab onto a tree. This is how the mother and son floated together on the sea. Finally, they found a high ground that was not submerged, so his mother led him through the reeds. Peter found a bottle of Coca-Cola. He did not want to drink it himself, so he gave it all to his mother. Soon, other survivors arrived. They held onto his mother and then sent them to the hospital. The hospital was already crowded with people. After receiving some basic treatment, his mother was taken to the ward to wait for surgery. Peter peeled an orange for her. His mother wanted to share it with the patient in the next bed. Just as he turned his head, she suddenly began vomiting violently. He was afraid she would die the next second, but even at that moment, she still told him to help others. He took a notebook and ran around the hospital, helping to match the names of separated people. But when he wanted to return to his mother's side, she was gone. He shouted like a madman. A nurse held him down and took him into a room. The nurse put a label on his chest that read, "Orphan." He looked around and found everyone here was an orphan. There was a death registration list on the table. He opened a page and saw a face that looked very much like his mother's. Peter quickly closed the book, not daring to look again. He sat alone on a bench. The nurse noticed his anxiety and told him his mother had just been pushed into the operating room. He rushed back to the ward at once. Sure enough, his mother was still alive. He ran out of the ward again to get some water for her. At the entrance of the hospital, he saw his father's back. He shouted with all his strength, but his father did not hear him. However, the younger brothers sitting on the rescue vehicle heard his voice. They hurried toward him. At the same time, his father finally realized what was happening. He staggered toward him. Peter threw himself into his father's arms. Their family was finally reunited. Thankfully, his mother's surgery was also very successful. He happily hugged her. Then he tore off the label on his chest. Thank God for his protection. Their whole family was reunited at last.